And we move over to our special coverage of the Sochi 2014 Winter Olympics. And we are, of course, joined by our Lee Tae Ho. Good afternoon to you, Tae Ho.
Good afternoon.
Last night was a crazy night for Team Korea, especially for all the Koreans who stayed up to watch the short track speed skating event.
And I think that's quite the understatement. First up, we had the 500-meter women's short track event where Park Seung-hi landed the bronze for Team Korea, making it the second medal for Korea at the 2014 Games, of course. Now, this was a very, very crazy event. There was a lot of commotion, but regardless, Park did very well.
Right. I mean, there was a lot of controversy, and there actually is an ongoing controversy regarding that event. So tell us all about it.
Well, what happened basically was two skaters behind Park got entangled with each other, causing a crash, taking down Park with them. And this was really unfortunate. It was really dangerous as well. And by the looks of it, it was kind of a sad moment for all of the skaters involved. But for this, it was Britain's Elise Christie who was ruled the cause of the crash, and she happened to be the second person to cross the line. And of course, with the penalization, the silver was taken away from her, and Arianna Fontana of Italy got the silver, and Park, of course, landed the bronze.
Well, going into the race, I mean, first off, just as a viewer, I mean, four competitors, 3 goes down. There's just one skating normally. I would have actually thought that they would redo the event or restart the competition, but that wasn't the case. And going into this competition, I think the favorites actually were Korea's Park Seung-hi and the Italy's Fontana, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but then the one who was trailing behind, the fourth, out of the 4 actually got the gold medal.
Well, that's interesting because with short track, I think this is one of the most nerve-wracking sports and events in all of the Winter Games, because you never know what is going to happen. You never know how the results are going to be turned out, because regardless of who the favorites are, you never know when a collision is going to occur, when somebody slips or trips. So I think that was truly the case yesterday, and Lee Tae Ho of China, who took home the gold, basically just coasted to the finish line with everybody else, the rest of the 3 skaters in the event going down, of course. And for anybody who watched the event, we saw Park tumble down once and then get up to tumble again. So it was really moving to see that she got up, she finished the race. Regardless of how she was going to finish, she made it through the end.
Right. Now, Park still has another chance for the gold.
Well, she did have a chance because she was going to be participating in the 1,500-meter event, but due to the results of the crash, she sustained a right knee injury, and she's been withdrawn from the event altogether.
Right. So we were just getting reports about an hour ago that Park has officially drawn herself out of the 1,500 competition. Now, well, she's still young, and we will see her in the coming years in large events like this. Now, receiving a medal for Korea in this event is quite significant, isn't it?
Definitely, because it has been 16 years since Korea landed a medal in the women's 500 short track event. 16 years is a long time to go without a medal, of course, in any event, but with Korea being so favored and doing so well in short track, it was a long, long time before their second medal here.
Right, and we also were expecting a lot more from the 16-year-old Seung-hi, right?
That's right. Now, she was a gold medal favorite, definitely a contender. However, she failed to qualify, but she's still young. She's only 16 years old, and by the time the 2018 Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang arrives, she'll still only be 20 years old. So I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more from her, and I think she'll be a little bit more fired up.
Right, and we look forward to all that. Now, let's go over to the men's race.
Now, the 5,000-meter men's event was another disappointment for Team Korea, with Lee Ho-seok crashing into the American speed skater, or that's how the judges ruled at least, and which disqualified the Korean team from advancing to the next round, of course.
Right, and of course, I think the Russian team with Victor On leading the race sailed right through with going into the finals in first place. So. Well, we'll be looking forward to actually his performance as well, because we all have a close eye on him as well.
Definitely.
Now, long track speed skating events also took place where Lee Sang-hwa participated.
That's right. Our very own gold medalist Lee Sang-hwa from the 500-meter speed skating event participated in her second and final event for the Winter Games. She placed 12th, but regardless, she did very well. She tried to, I think, a little bit more enjoy herself for this race. It's not her strongest event, but regardless, she's brought home one gold medal already, so big congratulations to her, of course.
And now it seems like yesterday was a very hectic day, to say the least, for both men's and women's events.
And you know,
for Team Korea.
Yes, there were tears on both sides, and it wasn't just for Team Korea. The Britain skater Elise Christie, she was also in tears about going down, because if you think about it, we've talked about this a lot. 4 years of preparation for all the athletes to go to the Olympics and to kind of result in a crash and being disqualified after thinking that you won the silver medal. I mean, this is rough for any athlete.
Right. I mean, you know, Olympics itself is nerve-wracking, but I think the short track speed skating event itself, it's more of a tiptoe than others.
Definitely.
Also, last night it was the start of one of the most popular winter sports in the Olympics, figure skating.
That's right. Now, the men's short program took place last night with Yuzuru Hanyu of Japan setting a brand new world record at 101.45. And of course, the crowd was really disappointed when their only competitor in the event, Plashenko, pulled out and decided to retire right there on the spot. But definitely Yuzuru, somebody to keep an eye on. He had totally electrified the crowd with his performance, and I think we have a new rising star in this event. Right,
and also Yuzuru is, the Korean fans were keeping a close eye on him because his coach is Brian Orser, who actually brought Queen Yeona, or Kim Yeona, to her gold medal in Vancouver 4 years ago, and now he moves on to another skater and brings him the gold medal as well.
And of course, it seems that Brian Orser has a knack for finding these young talent because he's only 19 years old and really coaching them up to their talent. So we'll be keeping a close eye on him because the only two gold medal favorites right now, or contenders going into the long program, are both Yuzuru and, of course, Patrick Chan of Canada, who is the record holder for the long program. So it'll definitely be an exciting event.
Right, we'll be looking forward to that. And another thought that I came to is that Brian Orser is actually only a silver medalist. And so during his career as an athlete, he didn't do as well as, coaching. So I think different people have a, different talent for being an athlete or a coach.
Definitely, and seeing the results of both Kim Yeona and, of course, Yuzuru last night, I mean, it shows that Brian Orser is one of probably the best coach in figure skating right now, because Yuzuru is heavily favored to win the gold medal right now.
Right, and speaking of Kim Yeona, we saw a glimpse of her practice.
We did indeed, and it wasn't just us. There was about a dozen cameras who were all focused on Kim Yeona, of course, for her first open practice at Olympic Park. Now, this is really interesting because all the other competitors, they're actually in nearby countries practicing for their short program next week, and to keep their practices as close as possible. But we see the reigning champion right now, Kim Yeona, open to the reporters and the media, being very confident, showing off her skills, and to show that she still has that composure, she's still here, and she's still the champion, of course.
All right, we'll be looking forward to all the events, including today's events as well, and also looking forward to Monday, when you will be bringing us more updates from the Sochi Winter Olympics.
That's right.
All right, see you then.
All right.
All right, with the Sochi Winter Olympics in full swing, there is increased awareness about some winter sports that usually fly well under the radar here in Korea. For the plucky few that have picked the sports up, the lack of proper training facilities in Korea hasn't stopped them becoming Olympians. Kim Hyun-bin reports.
Skeleton racer Yoon Sung-bin only hopped on a sled a year ago. But before you know it, Yoon became the first Korean to qualify for the Olympics in the sport. For now, his goal is to place in the top 15. But going forward, he has even bigger dreams.
I'm looking at the long term for the Olympics, and to gain experience, I will try to show you my progress since the summer.
Korea's ski jump team failed to qualify for the final on the normal hill ski jump this week. But the athletes have put their disappointment aside and are now focused on qualifying for the large hill ski jump competition.
Up
to 30th place gets to compete in the final, and our goal is to do just that. But personally, I would like to place in the top 10.
Curling is another sport that did not get much love before. But the other day, Team Korea's ladies team shocked everyone by putting up a great fight against the number 1 seed, Sweden. Their record stands at 2 wins and 2 losses in Sochi, and they are scheduled to face China for the 5th round. The team needs 6 wins out of 9 preliminary round matches to win a ticket to the semifinals. Kim Hyun-bin, Arirang News.